morning, everybody. I'm live down here in front of the federal court building, federal courthouse, downtown Portland, Oregon, and I'm right over here next to the jail, also where all of our political prisoners were held there for almost 10 months while they waited trial downtown Portland here, where the first guys were found not guilty. Today we had another court hearing for the next 7 defendants, and Jason Patrick, Sean and Sandy Anderson, Jake Ryan, Daryl Thorne, Dylan Anderson, and Dwayne Emmer. We had all those defendants showed up except for 2 today. Dylan Anderson waived his right to come today. It was too far for him to come. And Sean Anderson was sick and wasn't feeling good, but his wife showed up. We had some of the same predictions that we are always seeing before court. We was talking about how Judge Brown would bring up different situations here that she always does, and we were right again. She's always trying to get her agenda over, get everybody out of the courtroom, and she's really not listening to the defense team properly. Tells them just to file something. She added 7 more charges today that we knew were coming, and they arraigned the guys on those 7 charges a day. They did not arrest any of the guys. They did not take anybody into custody. Dwayne Emmer has the most severe charge out of them all that's added. It is a felony charge. And Jake Ryan has the second most severe out of it. And she is denying these guys a jury trial for these additional charges. And she made that clear today, that they did not have a right to a jury trial on these misdemeanor charges, and that she would be trying those charges herself. All the defendants stood up, and I was proud to see how strong they stood today. Jason Patrick stood up first and acknowledged that she was placing the charges. She asked him, she said, "Do you all understand the charges that were just read off here, these additional charges?" And Jason Patrick said that he acknowledged them, that he understood that she was doing this, but it was wrong of her, and that she was going to do what she wanted to do anyway. And he sat down, and she said, "Do you plead guilty or not guilty?" And he would not speak. And she went ahead and entered a plea of not guilty on his behalf today, and to proceed with the rest of the charges here at a future date. Sandy Anderson stood up in tears and acknowledged that she was not getting a fair trial, that they were going to railroad them, and that she was putting a plea of not guilty on her behalf for herself. But as she stood there in tears, you can see that woman is a strong woman, and she is fighting a good fight. Daryl Thorne also stood up. He told the judge, he said, "We get a jury trial even on a speeding ticket." And I know this for a fact myself. Not too long ago this summer, I got a ticket for failure to renew my license plate on a vehicle, and it was expired. I was offered a jury trial for that case, and that was just for an expired license plate. And I ended up beating the case without going to a jury. The government in that state issue dismissed the charges, but for them to not give these guys a jury trial on these misdemeanor charges when they have up to 6 months in jail on these charges, losing their gun rights on misdemeanor charges, is blunt tyranny and corruption. This is totally wrong. But I was proud of these guys today. They all stood strong, each one of them. Even Jake Ryan stood up, and he said that the game is rigged, that there is no justice here. He understood what they were doing, but it was totally wrong, and it's rigged. The judge, after he spoke, you could tell she was getting very upset at these outspoken outbursts of each one of these guys, as they had to stand up and make a plea of enter their plea of not guilty. But they all stood strong, and I was proud of them today. Some of the other issues here in court or just much more emotions now to go forward as they get ready for the jury trial. And I think all of them are prepared. One big issue is Jason Patrick has subpoenaed Ammon Bundy and Ryan Payne as witnesses here in this case. And that was confirmed today that they will be allowed to testify in the behalf of the defense team here. So I think that's awesome news. Ammon Bundy will be flown in for court here sometime towards the end of February, and Ryan Payne will be also. They will become witnesses for the defense team. But the judge made a note. She says, I do not want to see Ammon Bundy on the stand for 3 days testifying again. This is not his trial. This is a new trial. So I want to keep it brief. So she's already setting the stage, and she does not want Ammon speaking too much. So I bet a lot of this is going to be tried to hush down, but at least they get to come in and and are going to be able to testify on the behalf. So I think that's great news. Today is my last day here in Portland on this trip. I'll be leaving here sometime tonight or tomorrow morning. My next stop is over in John Day to support Jeanette Finicum for the meeting over there. I encourage anybody who can, if anywhere near there, to show up and support. There's going to be some great educational information to be learned there. You get to hear from Jeanette Finicum speak about the last year here of her life and what's been going on since Lavoy was murdered. So anybody can be in John Day next Saturday. That meeting is at 3:30. It's in John Day at the fairgrounds. I encourage everybody to be there. Then I'll be in Nevada on the 6th for the trial that starts over there for the defendants there that are going to start their case on February 6th in Las Vegas, Nevada. So everybody stand strong. I'll keep you updated as much as I can. Thank you for joining us, and we've got a new president. We don't want to forget that, Donald Trump. We missed any of the inauguration part today because we was sitting in court, but a little bit that I seen just before I went into court, they had a lot of prayers beforehand, a lot of people praying. It's a big turnaround to what we have had in the last 8 years, so congratulations to Donald Trump. I'm proud that we've got a new president that's going to make some good changes. As you can see downtown, there's supposed to be protests. There's nobody down here really. It's pretty much the streets are cleared right now, but we're not going to stay here very long. We're going to get out of here before it gets wild down here. And Patriot Corner's empty. It's just my camera girl and myself. So we're going to sign out for now. We'll keep you updated, and God bless, and thanks for joining in.